Arnold Schwarzenegger is back in the spotlight. In an interview with 60 Minutes last night, he talked about his new tell-all book and the affairs that he had during his marriage with Maria Shriver. In this next clip, you will see him admitting to several affairs that he had, including the one with the housekeeper. And he hints that Maria knew about the rest of them.
You had an affair with the actress in that movie. You cheated on Maria, and you were in your relationship. Was that the only affair?
No, I had others, but I mean, you know, that's something that's obviously between Maria and me.
She knew?
Yeah.
Damn.
Dang, he just threw it out there.
Yeah, he's kind of throwing her under the bus a little bit. Now, he talked about the affair with Brigitte Nielsen.
Yes.
And, you know, back in the day, she was kind of like the female Arnold in a sense, but she was sexy.
She was sexy. There's actually a picture of her before and after. This is of them too. If we have that picture of her during the, this is now. Like, she's really lost it.
Well, there she looks like the male Arnold.
But yeah,
that's not right.
This might have been
yeah,
how he
there you
her.
go. That's the Red Sonja I remember.
Gorgeous. I don't know what happened.
She was married to Sylvester Stallone too, right?
Yes, she was. And I was trying to look up the timeline to see if she cheated on Stallone. But it looks like she was with Arnold during the movie Red Sonja or something like that.
Sonja, yeah.
Sonja. And that came out in 1985. She married Stallone at the end of 1985. So I'm assuming the filming was done before and maybe they didn't actually overlap.
I got you. And then I had heard a rumor that Stallone divorced her after he found her with his female secretary.
Yeah, which I think is like, I thought guys liked that.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'd jump in it.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, man. I'd be like Red
I'm a little
Sonja
surprised.
and her girlfriend. I has it.
Right?
Yeah.
He just went for the divorce button. It's a little surprising.
Right. And by the way, in the book, and then Brigitte Nielsen keeps talking about like, oh, it was a hot affair with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, it was so wild. It was wild.
Blech.
I was like, geez, and Lord mercy, what you guys do, man?
Yeah.
I mean, what was so damn wild? I mean, I don't know. It was 85 back then. Maybe that stuff we're used to now was kind of wild.
That's true. I think them two just having sex, like that's wild in and of itself. Yeah.
I guess.
They're beasts. So the book is called Total Recall: My Unbelievably True Life Story, and it's 646 pages long.
What?
What?
How could your life be that frickin' long? And
it's gotta be a snoozer. I mean, a lot of the reviews say that it really under-delivered. It's supposed to be this tell-all book, but he leaves out all the juicy details. There are 3 segments in the book. It's 200 pages dedicated to bodybuilding.
I've 0% interest.
Yeah, 0% interest. Acting, 3 segments: acting and then politics. Like he does talk about his personal life, so he doesn't really throw Maria under the bus that much, because he leaves out all the like nitty-gritty personal details, which I guess I'm glad that he did that, but I'm still a little aggravated that he's trying to get into the spotlight.
Okay, look. The sex and the affairs are 5 pages out of this 600 million pages, right?
Exactly.
But that being said, like, so if you're a reader of the book, you're like intensely bored by all the, then I lifted the 200-pound weight, and then I lifted the 300-pound weight. Schlupen das ist Vitamin, right? And then finally, like, it's just 5 pages of sex. But on the other hand, if you're Maria Shriver, he does throw in there, one, what are you talking about the affairs for, man?
Right.
She didn't ask you to talk about that.
Right.
That look, it's not her fault. But a lot of women take that as like, well, that's a diss on me. And number 2, saying that she knew about him when she says she didn't know about that.
Yes, she does say she talked to some friends of hers talked to TMZ. They say she absolutely denies knowing about all of them. What it does is it makes her look pathetic. Like no matter what, she knew, but she stayed with him anyway. I think that's just pouring salt on the wounds on his part.
Definitely.
I mean, he already embarrassed her internationally by having a kid with her housekeeper. It doesn't get worse than that.
Okay, Can I ask something? I guess maybe from a woman's point of view, it's embarrassing that he's throwing her under the bus. Because I didn't see this throwing her under the bus until it seems like she was denying it. Now, what if she did know? I mean, does that mean that?
Awful.
It happens a lot where women know their man cheated and they take him back. It's pretty common, actually.
No, but it seems like she put up with it throughout.
Yes.
And that looks weak, right?
Absolutely.
Now, the thing is, everybody's got a different arrangement. It's not our business to judge. And I don't know. I wouldn't call it weak. And I just live and let live. I don't really care. But it's going to appear that way. And you got to know that it's going to appear that way, especially to a lot of women.
Right.
And so doing that to Maria Shriver, he says he wants to get back with her. This doesn't appear to be the best way to do it.
No, this guy is so selfish and narcissistic. To write a 646-page book about your life, like, you must have a huge ego. You know, I don't think he's concerned about how she's feeling, how his kids are feeling. I mean, it's really too soon. Like, when did that happen? The whole housekeeper scandal came out
about
less than a year ago. Yeah, maybe around a year ago. It's way too soon. You wait maybe later on down the line when the wounds have healed a little bit, and then you can come out with your 700-page book.
And he says the affair with the maid was the stupidest thing he ever did, which he doesn't say about the affair with Brigitte Nielsen.
Right. No,
or all the other affairs that Leslie Stahl was like, ooh, like you could hear her say that, right?
What he does say about the affair with Brigitte Nielsen is that he knew it wasn't going to last, and it actually helped him realize that he wanted to marry Maria, because at the time he was dating her, and I believe they're also living together. No, it's a BS.
Like if you're living with a guy, and the guy says to you later, I was having sex with somebody else while we were living together, but it's okay. It helped me realize you were a little better.
Okay, what? I hate to admit it, but it does sound a little better. Yeah.
See? That's interesting.
It sounds a little better. It does. It doesn't make it okay, and maybe I still can't get over it, but yeah, those words help.
Just helping silver lining in an otherwise incredibly dark cloud for Schwarzenegger.
Absolutely, the only silver lining in that dark cloud.